Hello and welcome back to the Tea and Soju Cdrama podcast, drama trio edition, where three friends chat Asian dramas and let you into that chatter. I'm your host, Liliana.
I'm Jess.
I'm Caitlin.
And in today's episode, we are going to be diving into all things genres within C-Drama land. But before we get into that, some housekeeping. If you like the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen on. That really helps the podcast reach other listeners. For more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, Zoom meetups, and more. Finally, if you'd like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the episode notes. So guys, how have you been? What have you been watching? What's life happening?
I don't mean to make a face immediately, but Caitlin asked me this yesterday, and I don't have really good answers for what I've been watching. Like I said on my socials, I basically have been in World War II land. I was watching Band of Brothers on HBO with my sister, blew through that one, no pun intended. And then we started the Pacific, which is same war, World War II, but now it's the military in the Pacific fighting the Japanese front. It is also very emotional, very violent, very accurate. And then what I will say is I got hit with Off Campus on Amazon Prime, which is based on a book.
Binged.
Did you binge it?
Yeah, I binged it yesterday.
Oh my god!
So
I have two episodes left.
This is what I should have said. You asked me what I did on my birthday. I sat down and I binged Off Campus. Oh. So
Did you love it? Was it everything?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty
good.
So yeah. I have read the novel. Like I've read the series. I quite like it. So Elle Kennedy is the author of the Off Campus series. And so they call it Off Campus, but the novel, like the first book is called The Deal.
Yeah.
Which is, that main
Oh no, you
story.
said first book?
Yeah, so it's a 5-book series. It's a 5-book series. But it's really
God.
It's actually
Jess, you clicked on a show that wasn't an Asian drama. It is 9 times out of 10 gonna have a second season.
But the thing is, I don't know. I think it will, but it's interesting how they're doing it, because so each novel, it's kind of like the same timeline, but it's picking on a different couple for each novel. So for example, like novel 1 is the couple that we're watching now, and then novel 2 is like Logan's novel, the best friend, the male lead's best friend, I don't know what
oh yes, the handyman.
Yes, so it's his story.
Okay.
And then like novel 3 is her best friend's story.
Okay.
So that's how it does. Like this is how these series usually work.
Yeah.
Like they'll pick on a new couple. So this is like candy to me, these kinds of series. I will gobble them up.
So it's Beefcake Central number 1.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
First, second, and third, beefcakes, sex everywhere.
Oh
lots of skin.
The thing is, I will say, Caitlin will get this. It's still not as bad as Heated Rivalry. I can never say that word right. Heated Rivalry is like, that is, because it's just men everywhere. Because it's a BL. So that one's even more beefcake, because everybody's like beefed up for that one.
They had me by the throat though in the first. So the intro sequence of her coming into the bathroom and surprising him in the shower. She didn't realize that he was still there, and I was like, yes, I'm listening. So yeah, ever since then I
binged it yesterday, like I said.
I binged 6 episodes in one night, went to bed past 3 a.m. basically. But yesterday was too busy, and if you on the Patreon feed for Liliana, you might hear about what the hell happened
why
yesterday.
I was so busy.
Why I could not get in front of a television yesterday to finish basically Off Campus.
No,
but
I
really enjoyed it.
It's good. It's good. And I like Elle Kennedy's pretty good at like giving you a tropey book but adding depth to it. So like both of their stories have, you know, they both have tragic pasts, and it kind of like adds depth to their characters. So, you know, it's not all about the sex. Let's put it that way. There is an actual story. There is an actual story.
Yeah, they got like, you know, daddy issues and really traumatic events that they are working through, and
so that's what I did. What about you, Caitlin? What have you been watching?
What do you got on?
We all know I'm on a break, so I've been trying to clear off my watch list, which has not been going well because I've been stressed for half of the month, and when I'm stressed I don't watch stuff. But I finished Blossom earlier this week, and then I'm about to finish Culinary Class Wars Season 2. I have like 3 episodes left of that.
Oh my stuff.
Okay, well, yesterday you had 5, so you're getting there.
And they're long.
I watched another 2 episodes last night after.
They're long, aren't they? Like an hour and a half long, those episodes?
Some are and some aren't. It depends on the episode. So like last night they were both an hour long. And then but like the first episode was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so like series, you know, premiere is an hour and a half.
Yeah. It depends on the episode.
As for me, I have been watching Perfect Crown, which I'll be finishing tonight because it finishes tonight. I like it. It's very predictable.
Oh my god, like you're just kind of like, it's fine. Like
the thing is, it's very predictable. Like they were trying to throw all of these red herrings at you, but it's like it's gonna go like. I predicted all the story all the way back in, you know, episode 2. So, but everything's very pretty, and I'm like,
everything's very pretty.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I do just want like a pretty show to watch.
So it's just like a brainless sort of.
Yeah. Okay, that's exactly what it is. So
it is now the #1 most watched ever K-drama, like. At least for Disney, if not ever. I can't remember. But there was like some. I can't remember. I think it's just.
That's
Disney,
upsetting because I'm like, what about the love for Moving?
Moving is so much better.
Moving.
And no offense to Perfect Crown. Like, if you like Perfect Crown, then good for you.
We're talking about Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, Disney Plus shows. Yeah.
Well, so, it apparently beat Moving.
Beat Made in Korea.
Yep, it beat everything apparently as of today.
That's crazy. So yeah,
it got like almost 30%.
Because it's really pretty. I mean, it's Bae-won Suk. The guy is like ridiculously tall, looks stunning.
He's a literal model.
He is.
He's a literal model.
But I will say, they're really not utilizing him in this. Like, I feel like they almost make it seem like he's an average actor when you know he's not. Like, you know he's a fairly good, like, he's a good actor. But yeah, I like it. I do. I don't think it's, you know, the best
not
thing
gonna
out
move
there.
the needle.
No, but I like it. Then I am catching up on A Splendid Match because I got really behind. And
I want to watch A Splendid Match for sure.
I binged like 10 episodes in one go. I'm like up to episode 17 now. The thing is, I will say, at first, I was like, I'm really not sold on this. It took me a good few episodes to really get into the story. Because the female lead just wasn't hitting for me initially, but now I'm like, oh my, this is great. Like, I love her story. I love where they're taking her. Like, there's been progression in her character, so I'm actually really, really enjoying this a lot more now than I was initially. And like I said, I did binge a bunch of episodes back to back. I will catch up.
I'm excited to watch it.
I'll be caught up with this weekend for sure. Like, I'll finish Perfect Crown and I'll be caught up with A Splendid Match. Yeah.
Watch me watch A Splendid Match and catch up to you if I like
press play.
Press play on it.
Yeah. Well, there's 25 episodes out and it's 36 episodes long, so
okay,
it's really not going to take that much longer. No, it's not going to take that much longer. to finish up. And then I
Mm-hmm.
started Filing for Love because Carol.
Mm.
Only because
Carol,
of
man.
Carol.
She's
I
a
wasn't
bad
gonna watch
influence.
it. I wasn't gonna watch it. And then
She's
Carol,
good at peer pressure.
she really is. And then
Yeah.
she was like, you should absolutely press play. And I was like, oh, actually,
Okay.
I kind of like it.
How was it?
I
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I ended up binging like 5 episodes.
There you go.
So I actually
Is
kind
it
of
better
like
than
it.
Perfect Crown?
It's very different. It's very different
Oh.
story. It's very, very different story.
How about your experience watching Perfect Crown versus Filing for Love?
I don't know. Because it's like one is all about palace and story within the palace, whereas the other one is a business romance story. I think Filing for Love is interesting because it's about a team.
Well, so this is I don't want to like necessarily go into like Filing for Love also because I want to go in raw and not spoiled.
Okay.
Despite me having seen one scene and I was like, oh, that's a spicy scene.
Look at
your
a lot of
face.
spicy
You're
scenes
so
in
much
this
more
show.
excited. You are so much more excited about Filing for Love than Perfect Crown. That answers my question.
I think it's because I like the concept of what they're doing, and what they're working with, in terms of what they get to investigate and what the team works for. So that intrigued me, a lot more. And also, it's not always that a business romance kind of works for me, but this one does. So when it does, when it clicks, it's like, oh, you kind of sit up and pay attention because it's not one that, I tend to go for. So yeah. We'll see. There's other stuff upcoming for Cdrama Land. Like I'll start The Air tomorrow, which I'm quite excited. I'm really, really excited about that one. Not one for Caitlin. Not one for Caitlin.
Nope.
It's a Xianxia drama. But I am really, really looking forward to that one. I think it's gonna be, but that one's like a proper historical. Like it's a serious historical. So yeah, and that's a good segue into today's episode, I think.
Yes.
So, in today's episode, we are going to be chatting through how dramas are categorized within China, because I think it works really different in the West. Because, like, in the West, for example, one of the broadest things, if people are in historical costume, it's just a historical, regardless, right? Whereas in China, there is different variations and different genres within the historical genre. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have been getting confused with the genres. And if we're going to enjoy the dramas, we might as well know how they're sort of categorized correctly, I would say. So that's how this episode kind of came about, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you were raging against how people were describing certain dramas and categorizing certain dramas, and it would be like, oh, my favorite Xianxias, top 10 Xianxias that I've watched, and the first one is Love Like the Galaxy, and you're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So you get it right. This episode came about because we were getting frustrated and Liliana was seeing red. So
yeah, I was in the DMs. I remember just being in the DMs with you guys being like, can you believe this crap? Can you believe this being categorized under this and whatnot? So we are going to start with like just a general overlook at some of the categories. And the thing is, a lot of dramas can overlap into various categories, but they will always have a main category that they will hold up to. So these are kind of the overlook of how dramas are classified, and the first one being modern drama. I mean, that speaks for itself. It's set in contemporary life, so it's set in now's time, so to speak. Then we have historical costume dramas, which is set in dynastic or fantasy-inspired historical worlds. And what I mean by that is, obviously, your Xianxias, your wuxias, all of those will come under historical, but there is lots of different subgenres within the historical genre. And we will get into that, because that is why Pursuit of Jade was getting into a lot of hot water, is because people were mislabeling it and it went down a whole whole route. So then we have Republican era dramas, which is normally set between 1910 and 1940s China. And this is categorized as like warlords and spies, qipaos, jazz clubs, and political chaos. It's a very specific time in Chinese history, and a lot of these dramas tend to be serious dramas. You don't really get a comedy set in Republican era dramas. However, you do get different levels of Republican era.
I was
dramas.
gonna say, like, you could have a smutty
yeah.
drama.
Yeah, I mean, Overlord is not going to be the same thing as Winter Begonia. So, not Overlord, Overdue, which is you know,
yes,
coming up. The two things are not the same, but they both are Republican era
set in
dramas.
Republican era.
Yeah. So then we have fantasy cultivation. Now these are your gods, your demons, your immortals, your martial arts powers, like your destiny and suffering in thousands of lifetimes. We are going to go into the difference between, I think, because a lot of people get wuxia and xianxia mixed so much. So we are going to go into that. Obviously, we have youth and idol romance. These is very much categorized as pretty people emotionally spiraling in high definition lighting. That's what I wrote down.
They may or may not be in a school uniform, but very likely they are.
Pretty people. You will get, like, if it's an idol drama, that is, you know, central. You are going to get pretty people on screen. Like, that is what idol dramas are known for. Now, I will say, one thing doesn't invalidate the other. It can be an idol drama and it can have good acting. It doesn't, like, idol dramas don't, I think a lot of people come with this preconceived notion that idol drama automatically means bad acting, and I don't think that's the case. I really don't. So
they can be, so here's the thing, they can also, if you're coming from K-drama land, idol dramas don't necessarily need an idol that was in the pop music industry.
Right.
Like for K-dramas, an idol drama is someone who was popping and locking on stage, and now they're making a career change and going into acting. And so that also is like a disconnect between a K-drama idol drama and a C-drama idol drama.
Yeah. I think that's probably, if you're coming into Chinese dramas and you hear the term an idol drama, that's what you would assume for if you're coming from like K-drama land. But most of these are not idols in the term that you think they're idols.
They don't all sing.
No.
You know?
Right.
Not at all. So yeah, and then just the last genre within this overlook is your prestige or serious dramas. These are more grounded, they're socially focused, they're critically respected productions. These are the ones that international fans barely ever see. So these are the dramas that tend to stay in China. Now, whether it's because Chinese platforms just don't think there's a market for
it's worth
them
it to license this out,
West. Yeah. So I don't
There's no
know.
demand, probably.
No. And also, these prestige or serious dramas, they tend to be CCTV dramas or dramas that are created by TV stations rather than online platforms. So they're not your iQIYI, your Tencent drama. They tend to be, Huas TV, or they tend to be CCTV productions, which are then given to like Yoku or, you know, Aichi or, you know, these other platforms. So when that
For
happens,
distribution.
yeah. So when that
Right.
happens, the TV channel will dictate where those dramas go. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's
They
all
also
about
tend to be like a lot more criticized when it comes to the um censorship. Like they're a lot more, because they seem to be going through more rounds of censorship because they're like government funded or government approved dramas.
Yeah. Yeah. They also, a lot of the time, they're based on real, like,
Yeah.
real events. And if that's the case, then through censorship, you have to stick to the truth of events. You can't then go off and, like, tell a completely different story to what happened. So they are more heavily censored, I would say. So yeah, they are just dramas that are incredibly hard to get a hold of internationally. And again, like I said, I don't know whether that's just because platforms can't redistribute them internationally or whether they just think that they won't do that well.
It's not worth it.
Abroad, exactly. And these are the dramas that tend to be Douban's top picks of the year. So this is where the disconnect between Douban and MDL really, really shines, because these are the dramas that tend to have your 8s, your 9s, you know, inching up to those 10s on Douban. It tends to be prestige and serious dramas. Why? Because they're viewed on TV, so they're viewed by a much wider audience within China than like platform watching, if that makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, I would love to see more of these, but unfortunately some of them you just cannot get a hold of, you know, internationally.
Sure.
So that's like your overall like look at genres themselves. And like I said, there is overlap, and I think that's where people start to get confused, because, you know, things can overlap and two things can be true at the same time, and but there is usually like a drama is usually pretty stuck in
there's almost like a primary genre and then
yeah
secondary ones.
It's like The Untamed, for example. I think that's like one of the biggest debates is what genre does The Untamed belong to? Well, primarily it's based on a danmei, so it's a BL adaptation. However, it's a wuxia. It is not a xianxia. Like, a lot of people want to call The Untamed a xianxia, but it doesn't have the, you know, it's more sect politics and it's more based on that rather than yeah. But I feel like that's one of the, or, you know, one that is always floating about as to what genre it kind of belongs in. So the first one, now we're going to go into like more detail within the genres, and the three of us,
if you want, you can start really fast with the BL bromance danmei adaptations section, because you just brought up Untamed, so you can...
Yes, I could
Yeah.
So I didn't actually, you know, write too much on this one.
Like, what is danmei?
So danmei is the word for BL. It's basically like anything that is BL adaptation. It is, you know,
and BL stands for boy love.
Boy love, yeah. So it is gay novels, predominantly written by women. I don't think people understand that these novels.
This is for you.
Yeah, this is predominantly written by women.
This isn't for the boys.
However, these are not allowed within censorship. So they used to be able to get through censorship by not showing anything on screen, and, you know, they wouldn't
anything sexual.
Anything sexual. But they wouldn't go out there and be like, these two people are in love. But you could tell, like, the subtext was there.
The subtext is.
The subtext is there. So you could tell a lot through those, you know, through the acting, through the gazing, through, you know, the very small touches. It's all in the read between the lines type of situation.
Yes.
However, a couple of years ago, censorship really did crack down on these, and now, like, if you're adapting from a BL novel, you're not gonna get through. And that is unfortunate, because there was a couple of adaptations that I was
They slipped a couple through, and they were quite on the cusp of like, how did this pass censorship? Even though, again, nothing sexual was going on screen.
Well, see, we have the Untamed, which is, I feel like, one of the biggest ones.
Right.
The Untamed, a pretty big one. And it's based on the novel called The Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation. So that's like what the novel is. And
I believe you can find some of these like in a Barnes and Nobles, basically.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So the biggest ones,
easy to come across.
The biggest ones are the Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation, which is the Untamed, and the next one is Heaven's Official Blessing. Those are like the two major ones. These have been fully translated.
You can find them.
You can find them. I mean, I have Heaven's Official Blessing like on my shelf, like special editions. You know, the whole thing. And Seven Seas is the company that brings a lot of these adaptations to the West, in terms of like the novels themselves. It's way easier to find, you know, a translated BL novel than it is any other like novel. It's a huge market. It's a huge market. So yeah, these, we just don't see them at all on screen. And
two biggest examples are the Untamed, like we said, and Word of Honor, which you've told me Word of Honor is more stuff than the Untamed.
Definitely.
Word of Honor was like on, like, it was so obvious. There were scenes, for example, where one of the male leads was sitting down and the other was behind him, like brushing his hair, and that is very much what a husband would do to a wife. That is like, you know, there's lots and lots.
Yeah, the personal grooming that like happens in a historical sense in these dramas is like,
Now, recently, some of them have gotten through again through various things, like they aren't distributed in China, they're distributed elsewhere, or they're made elsewhere, like Hong Kong, for example. So Chinese BL has kind of started coming back, but they've had to skirt around a lot of stuff, and a lot of the actors that have starred in these are then scrubbed from
they get blacklisted
dramas that are coming up, like Pursue the Jade had somebody scrubbed because he starred in Sammy's Children, Sammy's Child, something like that. So they have started to kind of, I don't know how long it's going to last, because the government obviously has caught on again.
They're penalizing these people.
There's like,
they do try it every couple of years. They'll be like trying to innovate and trying to work around it. So who knows? But yeah, BL, it's a huge genre. It's unfortunately not seen that much within China. In terms of dramas, I'm talking like direct BL adaptation of dramas. But yeah, the two biggest ones is the Untamed and Word of Honor, and who knows if we'll ever see them again. They might come back, other ones, because they had
I don't know, they're going the way of the dinosaur. I think the first one you were going to talk about, the first genre, was modern romance. So I'm sorry to derail you and be like, let's keep on the Untamed topic, but
No, that's fine. No, that was a better segue anyway, so that's fine. So we can go back to modern romance. I mean, that is pretty self-explanatory. I think it's one of like the broadest categories in general. And within modern romance, you can have a workplace romance, you can have, you know, a cohabitation, you could have a rom-com, you could have all of these tropes. You can have your fun, although these are now also not allowed, which is your rich CEO dramas. These don't really tend to be made anymore, you know, within C-Drama Land, because they got done by censorship because apparently people were going out and looking for a rich CEO themselves.
Yeah.
And trying
not dating anybody unless they had a certain threshold of money.
Yeah. So
to live
those
out
have
that
been
fantasy.
curbed. Although vertical dramas didn't get the memo. Because
right.
vertical dramas are a whole beast in of itself. So yeah, modern romance. So you have things like, for example, Hidden Love, which I put it specifically here because Hidden Love is one of those that goes into a couple of genres because it is technically a youth romance drama.
Yeah.
It is an idol drama. It's absolutely an idol drama, but it is also a modern romance drama.
Youth, idol, modern romance.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by like, oh, we got this Venn diagram that's sort of each drama is a special snowflake and it does cross over sometimes. The one that I want to bring up is Unrequited Love because every chance I get, I want to talk about Unrequited Love.
Yeah.
I love that drama. It's from 2019. That's the version that I always go to because there's other Unrequited Loves out there. But the 2019 version is an idol youth modern romance.
So yeah. This is absolutely what we mean. And I think this is why it gets so confusing because dramas tend to, you know, overlap. In various places. The other ones that I had down is You Are My Glory, which is an idol drama, but it's also like a modern romance workplace drama. So yeah, it encompasses quite a few, and You Are My Glory is one with Delraba and Yang.
Pretty people falling in love.
Pretty people.
Yeah, pretty people falling in love. I mean, that tells you everything. Like, that's category, you know that you're in idol
and
territory.
Sumi, I love that category.
Exactly.
Of drama.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And then the other one is that I had down is The Rational Life, which is a 2021 drama. This is like a business Nuna romance drama. There is a word for Nuna in Chinese, and every single time I forget it, and I just revert back to saying Nuna romance. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's one that stars Chin Lan and Wang Hedi, and you know, it's very much a modern romance. It has a business aspect to it. It's a workplace romance. So yeah, what are some of the dramas within this genre that you guys enjoy, like just modern romance dramas?
Modern romance. Well, you also have
the most recent one is Love Between Lines.
Yes.
Love
like
Between
it is a mix,
Lines.
obviously, because they have the VR game and everything, but it is a modern workplace drama, which again has pretty people in it. Very much so. It also has a crime element involved.
It does.
But yeah, that's the most recent one. The other one I thought of immediately was Find Yourself from like 2020 with Song Wei Long and Victoria Song. That is also a modern romance, Nuna romance drama. So those are the two that immediately popped in my head.
Yeah.
You have Meet Yourself on the list, which I know that you absolutely love. I was a little bit tortured by the pace of that one, and that's just on me.
Yeah. I moved
Beautiful show, though.
I moved it to another category later on as well, because I was like, this fits in here as well. But yeah,
and then the other two that I wanted to bring up was Nothing But You.
Yes.
That fits this category. From 2023, it stars Wu Lei and not Songzor.
No, it's oh my god, I always forget her name.
Hold on, I can bring it up. Oh, Zhu Yutong. Yeah. And then the other one I wanted to bring up was there's two. The First Frost. What can I say about The First Frost?
Yeah.
And Love's Ambition.
Yeah, Love's Ambition, definitely.
Those are both from last year, 2025.
Love's Ambition is a straight up modern romance. Like,
yeah.
Although, the romance is very much prevalent, but it isn't the focus, I would say, of, you know, of Love's Ambition. I really liked Love's Ambition. I know it's not, and everybody's gonna like
it's not
it.
a perfect drama, but I mean,
No.
it hits the spot. It was easy to
It
watch
does.
for sure.
Okay. So,
Not to derail this again, but are you thinking of Jeja for Nuna? Is it?
oh no,
I mean,
no,
I know
no.
some people. I know some people say
Yeah,
that
I
as
know
sister
what you're saying.
or older
I know
sister,
what you're
but
saying. No, there's a specific term. It's
okay.
not like
All right.
it's
That's
not.
the only one I could think of.
No, no.
But-
So that is the term, Gigi. Like that is the term for older sister, but there is a specific
Yeah.
term for an older female and a
Right.
younger guy relationship drama. There is like a specific term,
Mm.
and I keep forgetting. I'm gonna like Haley, if you're listening to this, please message me. What is the Chinese name?
The AI overview is telling me it's Jie or Jie Lian.
So JJ is the term. It is Nuna. Like JJ is older sister. It's literally Nuna. But I feel like there's a specific term, and I was told this specific term. I'm gonna have to
Okay, well, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to confer with.
Sorry, I derailed it.
You're fine. With someone who speaks Chinese to let me know, because I know there is a specific term for that trope, for that, So let's dive into idol dramas, because idol dramas are, pretty much 90% of the dramas that international fans consume are idol dramas.
Right.
So these are the dramas that a lot of us watch every day and that we consider, Chinese dramas to be. So what I have down here is this is less of a setting and more of a production style.
Yes.
And that is very much, an idol drama. You are signing up to watch something that is beautiful, that is pretty on screen. Whether that be the setting, whether that be the people, you are signing up for pretty. That's what you're signing up when you're getting an idol drama. And like Jess mentioned earlier on, an idol doesn't necessarily mean it's somebody that had an idol career before.
No,
in terms of
they were not in
singing.
C-pop or K-pop or whatever.
They are just not what you would call veteran actors, and they have come, a lot of the actors that are considered idol actors have come into Chinese dramas via other routes, whether that might be modeling, whether that might be,
They were a dancer, they went to film school, they went to acting school. Like, these are fresh faces. These are young, pretty,
athletes.
fresh faces. Athletes, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are the characteristics of an idol drama? Visually gorgeous leads. Like, that is guaranteed. You are going to be getting pretty people, Idol dramas tend to be, for the most part, romance first storytelling. So the romance is at the forefront, and sometimes the story will suffer so that the romance can shine and, be at the forefront. Fan service chemistry, you are going to get extra fan service, whether that be through promoting or whether that might be within the drama itself. They are going to cater specific scenes so you get like that payoff, that
maximum addiction. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Those, emotionally heightened plots. You're always going to be in danger of dying. You're always going to be, it's always going to be the be all or end all within that specific part. It's often adapted from web novels. So I would say 99% of Chinese dramas are adapted from novels.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of dramas that are created specifically
original works.
Original works. Thank you. So yeah. And then obviously the biggest one is you're gonna have trending actors, trending idols. This means that these people, just them being in that drama is
They're
going
the
to
moneymaker.
attract. It's gonna make you
Yeah,
money.
they're traffic stars.
They're traffic
Mhm.
stars, exactly. So that is your Bailu, your Zalushis, your Wang
Zangling
Hedis,
He.
your Zangling Hers, Tian Wei nowadays. They are traffic actors. They
Mhm.
are guaranteed to bring you in a fandom because they have a big, large fan base already present and
Mhm.
ready to watch their dramas. So yeah, you rarely will get really two big traffic actors in one specific drama because A, there's just no budget for that. These people are costly, and B, you don't really want that to happen because fan wars are a thing.
They get
Unfortunately.
touchy. Yeah.
See, I would love to see a Bailu and Zalushi drama. Like, I would love it. That's never gonna happen.
It would be like a dogfight between
Yeah.
the fandoms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is something that I feel like is very specific to Asian culture.
Right.
Not
True.
just in
Yeah.
China, but like I
No,
think
like
it's
Southeast
the same in
Asia.
Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the same. Whereas you have like, in the West, if two big actors act together, it's like,
Yeah, we can have
Great.
a female
It's
Ocean's
Tuesday.
8 movie.
It's Tuesday.
exactly.
It
Exactly.
doesn't matter necessarily.
Yeah.
So idol drama can overlap with a lot of things. And like I said, a lot of the dramas that we see are idol dramas. So it can overlap with modern, with wuxia, with xianxia, with historical, with school
Would you
romance.
say there's like a stigma around idol dramas in China specifically where it's like, oh, you're watching an idol drama that's a lesser drama
I don't
than
know.
the prestige ones that we rarely get to see as international fans?
I don't
You know
know.
what I'm
I
saying?
think they attach a different connotation to each drama. I think they judge them differently, I suppose. And this is why, actually, let's talk about it. I feel like this is why Pursuit of Jade was getting it a bit. Pursuit of Jade is an idol drama. There's no questions. It's an idol costume drama. That's what
Correct.
it is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were trying to sell it as a serious historical drama, and that is not what it is. Now,
Right.
that generated a lot of like overlap between fandoms that don't necessarily watch,
That don't necessarily interact, but it's like they were
Exactly.
called upon because of the massive success from Pursuit of Jade
Mhm.
and the way that people were talking about it. They were like, this isn't what's a good criticism that was like getting, that he is not a good general,
Mhm.
good casting for a general, because Chung Ling-he is beautiful. They did not dirty him up. He wasn't sweating at any point. He didn't look roughed up from battle. He didn't look battle hardened. He had no facial hair. All these things taken together were bothering the people that don't necessarily watch idol dramas because they're like, you can't take this seriously.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, yeah.
That's the whole point of an idol
That's
drama.
I'm not. Yeah.
And they never marketed themselves as a serious historical thing. Like the marketing for that drama versus Sword into Plowshares. Completely different because Sword into Plowshares was that serious historical based on real people like stuff. So they marketed it a completely different way.
It's that's one of the easiest ways to tell if a drama is a serious drama or an idol drama. It's how it's marketed. Because if they're pumping money, if you're having fan meets, if you're having merch made, if you're having all of these things, it's an idol drama. Like, there's no question about it. If you barely hear any fanfare about it, it's a serious drama, because a lot of those, they don't need to be advertised that much. The people themselves, the veteran actors, carry the weight of the
Great
show
weight.
and
Yeah.
the story and, you know, all of those things. So just by the way something's marketed, you can probably tell what
And it's not like it's not like we're saying that these veteran actors don't have fandoms.
Oh no,
It's
they have
just
huge fandoms.
It's just a different way where, like, for example, a lot of the people in these more serious C-dramas have been acting for years. It's not like they have been discovered in the last 5 years and shot into stardom because they looked pretty. For example, Bai I have been watching him since 2016. He is not as old as some of these other veteran actors that are in these very serious. Like, some of these people are in their 70s and still acting, and they're well known in Chinese drama land because they've been acting for 50 years. But Bai was able to make the step into like more serious stuff pretty early on. Like, I remember him from Idol stuff because my first drama was definitely an Idol drama with him. And he was in Love 020 as a support lead. Like, that is definitely an Idol drama. But he is also, I wouldn't categorize, like, he has a fandom, but he has a fandom because he has made the change to like a more serious thing. So it's a more like, it's a more
you can
spread
have
out
idol
fandom as just like not an age thing type
Yeah,
situation.
you can also have idol actors and actresses make the switch to more serious roles and types of productions that are not going to be capitalizing on their young, fresh name and image. And the fact that they were in 10 idol dramas starts to become less of a like perception than they're now in older, more established, they've cut their teeth, they've made their money, they don't need to be promoting this with fan meets and you know, all of these trappings of an idol drama.
Let me put it this way.
It takes a while, I think, to get to that level, though.
Yeah,
to be
let
like,
me put it this
you're
way.
not an idol actress anymore.
Some of the more famous veteran actors, and like, it's extensive, the list is extensive, but I'm just gonna name a few, and I guarantee a lot of my listeners will not know who these people are because internationally they just don't reach. So some of them would be people like Chen Daoming, who I know because I've watched him in Joy of Life. But you also have people like Hugo, Wang Kai, Chin Hao. These are veteran actors. And when it comes to actresses, you're talking about people like Zhu Chun and Zhang Ziyi from, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Memoirs of a Geisha, but also Liu Lin from The Story of Ming Lan and Ripe Town. Ripe Town is famously like really highly rated on Douban. Barely anybody knows, about it internationally. But this is what I mean, when you're defining a veteran actor, it's somebody who's been in the industry a really long time, who knows their stuff. A lot of these actors tend to do very serious dramas, and a lot of film as well, which idol actors don't tend to do as much. They tend to do a lot of dramas back to back to back to back. Whereas veteran actors, they'll maybe release a drama every few years. Yeah. So, because they've reached that kind of...
It's like Jackson Yi.
Oh,
Jackson Yi is a film actor, and he does a drama like maybe once every 5 years he does a drama. But every drama he does is like critically acclaimed, and like his most famous one obviously is Longest Day in Chang'an. That is like the top tier, highest produced, highest budgeted Chinese drama you can think of that time. And he is not he is like in his 20s, maybe 30s. Like, you look at him and you think he would be an idol drama actor. But because of the way that he became famous and the level of choices he makes when he picks his projects, that he has never been considered an idol actor, an idol drama actor,
even though he's
in China.
technically an idol
Yeah,
because
and
he was in a boy band.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
yes, exactly.
But he
Yeah.
is a phenomenal
actor.
Phenomenal.
You watch
actor.
him in something and you're like, oh, that was different. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
that's
right.
I still really want to watch his movie. I think it's called Big World, if I'm
Big
not
World.
mistaken.
Yeah.
I so badly want to watch and review that movie. But it's hard to get a hold of that movie internationally.
Yes.
Right.
But that is that is a masterclass in acting. So yeah, that movie is on my, I will absolutely watch it and review it for Tea and Soju at some point. So
what are some idol dramas that we haven't mentioned already?
Idol
We've
dramas.
got like Till the End of the Moon.
Till the End of the Moon is an idol drama. Love Between Fairy and Devil is classic idol drama.
Classically idol drama.
Yeah.
Idol Xianxia.
Yeah. Only for Love, which is a Bailu and Wang Hedi drama. That is very much an idol drama and not a very good one at that. But we move. Shots have been fired. So yeah, those are some, just like right off the top of my head. The First Frost is an idol drama. We were just talking about it. That is a classic idol drama. You would think not. The Prisoner of Beauty is an idol drama.
Idol drama. Very clearly an
idol drama. Pursuit of Jade. Idol drama.
Idol drama.
Like 90, like I said, 90
This
to
is not to
95.
say they're not good.
Exactly. I think people
we love all these dramas. Okay?
People need to understand.
We know what we're watching though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People need to understand.
The Double is an
idol
drama.
The Double is an idol drama. I think
that's a historical or costume idol drama.
Yeah. I think people need to understand that idol in C-drama land doesn't necessarily mean bad, but you are signing up for a specific certain type of storytelling. So you know what to expect. You know that these characteristics that we talked about a little bit earlier is what you're signing up for. So don't expect, a fully political drama in an idol drama, because that's not what you're going to get. Love Like the Galaxy. Love Like the Galaxy is an idol drama. Yeah, and it's one of the more
respected ones.
Respected ones, I would say. But it is still an idol drama. So we're not saying because
like Nirvana and Fire is not an idol drama.
No. That's that's
the
on
opposite.
that's in my historic that's one of my suggestions in my historical.
So you have Love Like the Galaxy, Nirvana and Fire. If you watch these two together and you compare them, I'm just doing it because Wule is the younger version, and you can tell if you do these comparisons, Love Like the Galaxy is definitely an idol drama versus Nirvana and Fire.
There's no romance in Nirvana and Fire. It's just politics.
Yeah.
It's just straight up politics for 56 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I think we've sufficiently covered idol dramas, though.
We have.
I think people are getting the picture for sure.
Yeah. Should we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
The next one is youth or coming of age stories. Now, this will probably come under the umbrella of modern dramas because pretty much all of them will be. It's very rare that you really get a youth or a coming of age in a historical setting.
Could be a 12 letters that is not modern.
Yeah.
It could be what's one that came out this year, Love Story in the 1970s.
Yes, Love Story in the 1970s.
That's a period piece as well.
That is a period piece. Yeah, but what I mean, I don't think you're going to be seeing them.
It's not historical
Hanfu.
Palace. Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No.
So the core tropes, so it's it tends to be school, university. That's where they tend to do these types of dramas, and it tends to focus on friendship, your first love, those types of stories. And the core tropes tend to be Gaokao stress, which is the test you have to take to go into university,
the SAT type thing.
Yeah, I think it's equivalent to that. Yeah.
It's the closest approximation I think that people have. But again, now that schools are doing test optional, like who's stressed about taking the SAT or the ACT in the United States? Anyway, beside the point.
So, childhood friends, sporty boy, genius girl. That's like a very famous trope. Nostalgia, and these always tend to have an aspect of found family. Like pretty much all the time there tends to be, you know, a found family aspect. Some examples, which are, you know, pretty big ones: When I Fly Towards You, A Love So Beautiful, Lovely Us, and obviously for me, one of the best out there, Go Ahead. You know, I scream about this one from all the rooftops. This one is Go Ahead is a very interesting one because it starts as a youth coming of age, but then it follows them into adulthood. So you see them as adults, you know, working jobs, you know, out in society. So it kind of branches into a sort of modern romance and a youth coming of age. But yeah, what are some of the like dramas that you guys watch within this genre?
I think of When I Fly Towards You as like a classic textbook example of a youth drama. I also vividly remember watching A Little Thing Called First Love.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That's also like a classic setup with a really ugly Betty situation going on where she's like really ugly, but she can't. Ugly as in she's just tan and has
wild unruly hair.
Right. You know, it's like, okay. sure. But that's one that I remember as well. A Love So Beautiful from 2017, I recall. Yeah. I mean, there's I don't want to say there are a dime a dozen, but when you come across it, you're like, oh yeah, it's a youth drama.
I think also they're not as. So I'm just going to speak from my experience. And
what are you going to say?
From my experience as, you know, a C-drama watcher who's been watching for a little while, they're not as what's the word I'm looking for? They're not as
angsty?
No.
High stakes?
No. They're not as common nowadays. Like there isn't as many coming out nowadays.
Oh, there used to be more.
Yes. So a lot of the ones that I mentioned are from a couple of years ago. You don't
they're not as prevalent
as many nowadays. I feel like there's been this shift within C-drama land where you kind of see a lot more historicals nowadays.
I think it's just because they're trending. Like if they stop making money, then they'll go back to youth dramas or whatever.
So for youth dramas, like this year, you mentioned A Love Story in the 1970s. That's the one that kind of like comes to head.
You can see how they're kind of branching out. Right, they're combining youth drama with a period piece from the 1970s, which is not a common era to explore. So I like that. They're sort of innovating.
Exactly.
Often.
A classic one that I always like, because I don't watch a lot of youth dramas, is Hikaru no Go.
Oh, I remember.
It's like a combination of a youth drama, but also it's a fantasy drama at the same time. And yes, it's based off of an anime and a manga, which is why it has a Japanese title. Just but yeah, that is one of my favorite, very underrated youth dramas that I always name when we talk.
I mentioned one earlier in the modern segment, and it was Unrequited Love. A second plug for Unrequited Love in the 2019 version.
Ignore the 2020 version. Like that we don't talk about that one. We do not mention that one. It's the 2019 one. Do you know what? One of these days we're gonna have to rewatch it and review it. Just to push
I will be there, like to rewatch Unrequited Love. I'm telling you,
and it's short as well. It's only 24 episodes.
Only 24 episodes.
I feel like we need to make it happen because we keep talking about it. We just need to push it.
Scout's honor, I'll be there.
Maybe
all right, next genre.
Season 5 of Tea and Soju, maybe.
Oh, it's packed out. I'm sure.
So next up is one that Jess and I are not fans of.
I'm not a fan of this one.
No, I'm not either. I'm not.
But it's out there.
It's the workplace drama. So this obviously comes under the modern umbrella. Although you do have some historical dramas which can be considered as like business workplace. It's just not like in an office, you know. It might be like a tea estate or whatever it may be at the time. But they're still considered like business dramas. So business workplace drama. So these are career heavy with romance secondary or balanced. So like I said, they tend to have a lot of business included, and the common settings tend to be the gaming world. There's a few in the gaming world.
I don't understand that one.
I don't either.
I guess it's because it's kind of whimsical and creative still, but
maybe
still in an office setting. I don't know.
Aerospace tends to be popular, and that is
aerospace.
Yeah. We have You Are My Glory is probably the first one that pops into my head.
Is aerospace.
Yeah, it's aerospace. Medicine, law, finance tends to be the biggest one, and publishing as well.
I can't do it. Like even the ones that you're mentioning, I'm like, oh my god, a law, romance drama, medical romance drama, publishing romance drama, get out of here. Yeah.
So
not
some
for me,
examples are Love is Sweet, which is like, I think like a 2019-2020 drama with Lo Yun-chi and Bai Lu. It was their first time they collaborated. Yeah. That is in the finance world, and dear Lord, that was, I think if I were to watch it now, I probably would be like skipping all the office stuff. You also have High Venus, which is set in the medicine world. And one that we mentioned earlier is Nothing But You. It's kind of like a crossover between business and sports. So the business isn't as prevalent, but it's still definitely there.
These
especially
have a
in
lot
the beginning.
Sometimes they have like CEO. These had a lot of CEO and worker or subordinate type storylines. I remember watching Boss and Me back in the day.
Classic one. Classic
Oh
one.
yeah, Boss and Me. Oh my god, yes. I do remember that. Oh,
it's from 2014.
Yeah, that's an oldie. That is an oldie.
Yeah. Negotiator from 2018, which is really, really good.
I have not watched that one.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or Interpreter. That's another classic one that people think of.
So that is business / workplace dramas. The next one is one that is actually seeing a really big rise in popularity, whether that be inside of China or outside of China. I don't think not as much internationally, but definitely within China, I think. And that is what we call the healing or slice of life dramas. So these dramas tend to be slower paced. They tend to be about like emotional recovery. They tend to be in rural. I can never say that word.
Rural.
Oh
God.
It's a really
outside
hard
of the city.
Word. Yeah, outside of the city. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Countryside.
Yeah, I should just say countryside. They tend to focus on, a food or a craft or community themes, and they tend to have like this very soft
cinematography. It's okay.
I'm struggling today.
Yeah.
Can you tell? So those tend to be the characteristics. So these dramas, you tend to have something like Meet Yourself is very much this category too.
These are not the type of dramas that you should sit there and binge.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just like the pacing is slower, you should watch it at a slower pace as well.
Slower pace. Yeah.
Another one would be Will Love in Spring, which is a mature, slice of life romance drama, I really liked it. And then famously we have To the Wonder, which in my opinion is a very underrated drama, and it is now available on Viki. It's no longer...
I saw that.
Yeah, previously it was only available on iQIYI. It is only 8 episodes. 8 episodes, that's all it is. So it's a very quick watch. And actually, it's so different to anything that at least I have watched before that it grabbed my attention, and I kind of like watched it all in one go. So yeah, To the Wonder. I don't think either of you are big fans of this category.
That's not the genre that I definitely press play on every
Yeah.
time. But
Do you know?
I do want to watch Will Love and Spring and To the Wonder.
I think you'll look.
I have seen Meet Yourself, and there's a Daebak review of
Mhm.
Meet Yourself where I was not so kind to it because I watched it wrong. I was in the wrong mood, and it also it doesn't have any angst in it. It's just sort of vanilla, and it's fine. If you want that, that's great. I tend to not like that or want that in my watch diet. But
Will Love in Spring does carry some angst. I will give you that. It is like a little bit.
I will prioritize that one.
So
yeah, this is not my genre. I don't tend to go for slice of life.
No. However, the next genre is right up Caitlin's alley. Because within the modern genre, we obviously have crime, thriller, mystery, and I kind of banged them all together within the same, the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same category, yes. So these actually, you tend to get quite a few of these within C-Drama land, and they tend to have morally grey leads, social commentary, tense pacing, serial cases, and hidden corruption. Some of the examples tend to be The Bad Kids, I think is one of the best ones. Reset will fall under this category, and Under the Skin will also fall this category. I really liked Under the Skin season 1. I wasn't as keen on season 2. But yeah, what are some of your top recs for this genre, Caitlin? Because you are the expert among us.
I'm the go-to expert. I mean, we've talked about Murder's Affair and Horizon Tower. That's a classic one that's we always need to name. Where is that one? I just saw it. Oh, The Long Night. Like The Long Night is modern, but it also goes back in the 80s, 90s, 70s. So like there's two timelines going on. So I would consider it modern because some of the crime is happening in modern times. So that one's also a very, very prevalent, very good crime drama that I would recommend. So I'll name those two.
And I feel like they had a little bit of a moment in the sort of the last month because they had there was 3 like dramas released back to back that were within this category. So you had 800, I think it's called 800. You had Light to the Night, and then you had Born Lucky. All 3 of them are crime dramas, and they were like released within like a couple, 2 weeks of each other. So you'll go through phases in C-Drama land where you'll probably only see a specific type of genre for a little bit, and April seemed to be crime time in C-Drama land. So the next category is one where you will not see a lot of these dramas coming across internationally, and that is like your family/social realism. So these tend to be more grounded, often critically respected dramas. So themes within these dramas tend to be class pressure, parenting, housing, aging, education, and social mobility. And some of the examples are A Little Reunion, Mining Town, and The Binge. Now, The Mining Town is on my list, and it is available internationally. It's one that I really want to watch, but a lot of people have said that if you're not Chinese, you might not necessarily like it. Because it's a story, about a mining town. That is literally what the story is about.
Right.
But it is actually, I'm going to look it up, but it is one of those that has a ridiculously high Douban score, and yet it doesn't have, like on MDL, it has an H. That's what it has. And then on Douban, I'm just bringing it up now. It has, where is it? I can't write. I'm writing like 3,000 things and I can't write. There we go. It has, yeah. It has a 9.3 on Douban.
Oh, Wow.
thing. Wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it
But
has
that's also one of those that kind of crosses into like CCTV scrutinized, like serious dramas in a way,
it
in my
is
opinion.
so it has no online platforms. It is a BTV Dragon production, and it has like no Tencent or anything attached to it. However, it is available on Prime Video apparently. So yeah, it was one
Sorry,
of those.
I was literally about to go. No, I won't do it. I won't do it. I was gonna sing that song from Bo Burnham, Jeffrey Bezos, that song.
Oh my god!
You know that song because Amazon Prime, bro. Like, what?
Amazon Prime, like Prime Video, has a lot of Chinese dramas. I always forget to
CEO
check.
entrepreneur.
Oh my god. So yeah, it is one of those dramas that is, like I said, highly acclaimed, but not that well known outside of China.
All right, we're getting to the next genre that is a big one for people, especially now that it's sort of trending, as you said. We've got historical / costume dramas.
Yes. And the first one we are going to define is historical political dramas. These are your serious dramas. This is what we mean. So it tends to revolve around court politics, strategy, and imperial succession. These tend to be your highly critically acclaimed kind of dramas. And you will probably not see idols acting in these, let's put it, in that. So the traits tend to be scheming ministers, palace factions, revenge arcs, detailed etiquette, and less fantasy, more intrigue. So some of these are Nirvana in Fire is probably the most well-known outside of China, I would say. You have The Longest Day in Chang'an, which Caitlin mentioned, and also The Rise of the Phoenixes is also one.
I love The Rise of Phoenixes. That one also, I wonder if it is considered an idol drama just because Nini is in it.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. So I
would not.
But I wouldn't, because Chen Kun really isn't an idol drama.
He's not an idol drama actor.
Like yeah.
I wonder if she like got in by the skin of her teeth. You know what I'm saying?
By the skin of her teeth.
It was like her first drama. Like,
that's crazy.
Because she was a movie. I don't really consider Nini an idol actress, though.
I agree.
Because
she's a film
her first movie was, she was a big movie actress, and this was her first drama as, like, people were so surprised she was doing a C-drama when this was made.
Yeah.
So I personally don't think she's an idol, because she rarely does dramas these days, too.
True. And I think, like,
first of all, watch Rise of Phoenixes, because that one actually has romance in it.
Yeah.
But if you're not prepared for palace intrigue and a lot of politics, then don't watch it either. But that one, I was riveted.
Yeah.
I think also actors who tend to be movie actors tend to have like a different kind of respect than drama actors. Because I think it takes two very distinct skill sets to be a movie actor and to be like a show actor, if that makes sense. I think like just because you're good at one doesn't necessarily mean you'll be good at the other.
Right.
So yeah, Nirvana in Fire is not a single ounce of romance in that, I would say. I have reviewed it on the podcast, and I was really glad I did. It's one of those dramas that I was really glad I watched it. And you get to see a 16-year-old Rule.
How cute.
There. He's
right.
incredibly... His face looks... exactly
it's the same face. Yeah.
It's the same face, but just younger. So it was very, very intriguing to watch it. Yeah. So the next one is palace harem dramas. And these are dramas that tend to focus on imperial consorts fighting psychologically for survival. That's how I described it. Because you're not going to see them, throw down on the pit.
No.
But that's not
They can't
what
lay
it is.
hands on each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe amongst themselves with like hair pulling or something, but
that's not common.
but that's not common.
They're more like poisoning each other's
It's more like sending each other's
and...
servants to go slap each other's servant, and that's a disgrace between them.
Trying to seduce the emperor and get him to come to her abode,
or possibly killing their unborn child because
the unborn child
doesn't
situation
want her to
oh my god,
so devastating every time. Like 10 out of 10, that's always going to be like,
and you expect it every time, but it's still
you're still like, oh my god,
yeah. So
all right.
These aren't as often seen nowadays because although they aren't banned specifically,
it is such a shame. I do enjoy these.
They aren't necessarily banned. They are really hard to make since they are often seen as glorifying imperial luxury, promoting intrigue, and neglecting social values.
Yeah, because China's communist, in case you didn't realize. So the censorship is quite heavy on values that conflict with communism. The excess of a royal family to this extent in these palace harem dramas, it's probably not something they want to promote in their country. Fun fact, my very first C-drama was a palace harem C-drama.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was Empresses in the Palace, which I've said this story before. I watched it on Netflix and I was utterly confounded by the edit because they had edited it down to a certain number of episodes that was lower than the 70 or 80 that it was naturally originally. And so I felt like I was missing large swaths of the story. And I was like, I was still invested. I was still like, okay, yeah, like what happened? And then it would like skip over large. Anyway, don't recommend watching it that way. Watch it the original way, but Empresses in the Palace.
I really want to watch that one. That one's on my like I have a list of really long dramas that eventually I would like to like review on the podcast, and like I can't make my way through the whole thing, so I pick and choose at least one, possibly two, but it's probably just one per season, and that one's definitely
we got one coming up.
We do. We do. I'm very excited for that one.
Me too. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Me too.
The core aspects of these types of dramas are concubine hierarchy, emotional warfare, definitely.
Literally. Emotional warfare. Yes.
Yeah. Manipulation, tragic women, and devastating slow burn revenges.
Absolutely. And you know what? Every single category or core ingredient of a palace harem drama, I am sat for.
Exactly.
Same.
Yeah.
And although I will say, a lot of the thing is, these don't get made very often now, or barely nowadays, and the old ones tend to be 60 plus episodes.
Yeah,
so
they're
a
very
lot of
long.
people won't want to press play on that, which is a shame.
It's a shame.
I know it's a long shame. I know it's a long time investment, but trust me, it's so worth it. A lot of these are so worth it. And some of these we have Empresses in the Palace, Story of Yanxi Palace, and Rui's Royal Love in the Palace. So palace galore. Like
the only thing I will say is that kind of unbelievable about these is that, you know, if you look at historical records and things, not every concubine was a beautiful model with this physique and, you know, whatever, clear skin and pale skin and all this stuff. Like, it was very political, the concubines. And so you can also roll your eyes and be like, okay, these 500 models living together is not like what actually happened in history.
Some
but
of these harems had thousands of women in them. There was no way this emperor was gonna get to them all.
No. There was actually no way.
There was like tiers in these harems sometimes, depending on the emperor. And so like just to get into the low level tier, you were set for life. Like your family was set for life.
Right.
So yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not like some of these obviously do make sense where there's like 6 concubines, but some of them don't because there would be hundreds of concubines sometimes, depending on the emperor
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and depending on the dynasty and like
Mm-hmm.
how many wives was like you were allowed, depending on who was in charge and everything like that. Yeah.
So that is palace harem dramas. Unfortunately, not seen that often anymore.
Kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
So next up is one that I'm just going to
Yeah.
run through very quickly because we've
Touched on
beaten
it a
it to
lot.
death in the modern, and that is idol historical or idol costume dramas. This is probably what newer international viewers first encounter. They're the ones that are very readily available everywhere, and they mix historical aesthetics with the idol drama structure. So the traits tend to be beautiful costumes, simplified politics, romance-centered dramas, highly shippable couples, and dramatic OSTs. Like those.
And again,
tend to
check. I love all that.
be...
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Beautiful cinematography that shows off either the
Yes.
costumes and or the couple all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Again, just because it's an idol historical drama or an idol costume drama, it doesn't mean it's not good. It's just there will be a heavier focus on everything looking beautiful and looking pretty. And some of the examples are, we've already talked about these, but The Double, Love Like the Galaxy, and believe it or not, A Journey to Love too.
Yeah. Like, perfect example, The Double. No one is gonna freaking knock down a door and come flying, twirling around with their cape and fan out and land on a chair perfectly like that dude did his entrance in The Double. That is an idol drama to its core. Like, they just did that to show off his costume and his cape and the fan.
And his pretty face.
Yeah, his pretty face. Like, that, there's no way that's actually accurate in any term of the word.
Yeah. That's like,
and I love it. And you know what?
Exactly. I'm sat for it.
Exactly. Or like Love Like the Galaxy, Wu Lei's first entrance where he takes his cape and just does a whole swing around in front of the palace. Beautifully done. Maybe might happen, but like it was shot in a way to show off him in the cape. Like realistically, you wouldn't get that good of a shot doing that.
So very quickly run down to finish up this thing between idol historical and serious historical. So an idol historical is romance heavy, a serious historical is politics or history heavy. For idol, you have beautiful cinematography. For serious, you have realism or detail focused cinematography. Then for idol, you have young idol actors versus veteran actors. You have for idol emotional tropes versus in serious historical complexity. For idol, you have chemistry centered. For historical, you have stagecraft warfare centered stories. And then for just lastly, for idol, you have often, very, very often, fictional kingdoms are much more common, whereas for a serious historical, they tend to be based on real dynasties and real events. I think it's really easy. For me personally, it has become very easy to tell the difference between an idol historical and a serious historical. Because if you've watched them, you'll know. Like, you'll know.
It gets very easy to spot these. Yeah.
So, let's move into the last part, which is, I feel
which
like...
is the part that made us most frustrated in the wild before doing this episode.
Which is the big debate of wuxia versus xianxia. A lot of people will argue that xianxia is just a subgenre of wuxia. I would very much disagree with that personally. I don't think that's the case, even within the words themselves. So, wuxia. Wuxia literally means martial heroes, or martial chivalry, and it martial
chivalry.
words. There's words that I just can't say.
Which
That's
I love
a
the word
tough one.
chivalry. Like it's such a like romantic, all encompassing. Anyway, whatever.
So, wuxia is described as martial arts heroes in a semi-historical Jianghu world. And Jianghu literally means rivers and lakes. And it refers to a mystical parallel society in Chinese culture, literature, and film, representing a community of martial artists, outlaws, and wanderers existing outside of conventional government control. It is a world governed by personal honor, martial skill, and it's often rules. And it owns rules rather than imperial law. So that is wuxia. And the themes tend to be honor, sects, as in sects, wandering heroes, swordsmanship, and loyalty versus betrayal. Those tend to be the very core themes of a wuxia drama. We have a very low or non-existent magic, what we're gonna call for a Western
If people
audience.
are flying,
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily mean there's magic involved.
no, they're just using their chi, like
Yes.
their inner spirit force.
Flying, you know, jumping between buildings and running up walls and things like that. Just consider it like a little bending of physics and them using their internal chi or whatever.
Energy.
It's their energy. That is wuxia.
Yeah. So the big way to tell it is people can fly lightly across rooftops, like Jess was saying, cultivate internal energy, and do absurd martial arts.
And I love it. And I love it.
However, they are all still human, mostly human. There is no, gods and demons and whatnot.
Immortals.
It is humans, human beings.
Yeah.
I think that is the clearest distinction between wuxia and Xianxia. And examples of these are dramas such as Mysterious Lotus Casebook, which Caitlin and I have reviewed on Tea and Soju, The Blood of Youth, and Legend of Fae. So yeah. Wuxia
I would say I like wuxia better in film form than I do as a C-drama television medium, if that makes any sense.
I think it's because you don't.
So, like, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a classic.
Hero, those
example.
kind of movies, I'm like, yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. I can wrap my head around it. I love the wandering heroes, the chivalry, all of the wuxia world works so much better for me in cinema than it does in television.
I think it's because you don't particularly enjoy the sect politics.
I don't
that much.
Yeah.
And in a movie, there can only be so much of that. There's usually
they're not drawing
not
it out.
Large. Yeah.
Right.
2.5 hours and you're done.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. So if you're looking to get into wuxia and you want to dip your toes in it, I highly suggest watching a film versus doing an entire C-drama. Is my recommendation. And then if you like it, then try and do a C-drama.
Yeah, try and jump into that. Yeah. So the next one is Xianxia. Xianxia. The three of us did a Xianxia Hall of Fame where I dived deep.
You also gave a really robust definition.
Yes. So I'm not going to go as in depth in this one. Like in that episode, I went where Xianxia even came from, where all of that. So listen back if you want to know even more. So I'm just going to give a more basic description here. So Xianxia literally translates into immortal heroes. And it is two words, Xian and Xia. Like it is, we stick them together, but it's two separate words. And it tends to be immortals, gods, demons, and heavenly realms. So the themes are reincarnation, destiny, tribulations, forbidden love, cosmic suffering, cultivation to immortality, those type of things. check, check,
Hit
check,
me.
check.
I love it. I love it all. Yeah.
All the angst.
All the
Yes.
angst, all the angst. And what very much defines this is that a lot of these people don't necessarily start off as humans. Although, as we learned in the Xianxia episode, that's where they were supposed to start.
Mhm.
So
Humans to immortals is like the
Humans to
real pure
immortals.
definition of Xianxia.
yes.
But it's kind of evolved over time
Mhm,
in the media to just represent sort of immortal heroes.
mhm. Exactly. It is extremely high in what I'm gonna call magic for Western users. It's
Right.
I always equate Xianxia to high fantasy in the
It
West.
is high fantasy. Yes.
That's like
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
explain it as. With a very different set of rules and, lore behind it, but that's
Mhm.
what I equate
a lot
it
of like
to.
zodiac stuff and
Yes.
you know,
It
Right.
tends to people
it
tend
feels
to
like Greek
be-
mythology
Yeah.
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 There's
to
a whole
me. Like if
world.
you enjoy Greek mythology, you're probably really gonna enjoy Xianxia.
People tend to be gods, dragons, demon lords,
sorry.
immortal beings.
I didn't mean to laugh at like gods, dragons. But like they always have like a true form
Exactly.
Yes.
involved. Yeah.
Now, let's do a typical Xianxia checklist. Glowing
Lord.
forests, blood spitting, multiple...
spitting. Yes. Also, that's
multiple-
common in wuxia as well.
It is. Multiple lifetimes, heavenly punishment lightning,
Oh yes.
one person
Yes.
waiting 10,000 years.
Well, you
If
know,
it-
this is like a drinking game.
Yeah.
If you want to
definitely.
get sloshed, take a drink anytime one of these
Yeah.
things happens.
Very classic examples are Love Between Fairy and Devil,
It is an
Ashes-
idol Xianxia.
an idol Xianxia. The thing is, I don't really think you get a serious.
No.
I feel like the closest we
Xianxia.
came to a serious one was like the first one truly in the modern era, which was Eternal Love / 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. I feel like that is closest to a non-idol
Mhm.
Xianxia.
But even that, you'd still call
Even that
an
introduced
idol.
Even
Doraba
that,
to us.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, Ashes of Love, Till the End of the Moon. These are like your very classic Xianxia dramas. I wrote down something quite funny. How much suffering is required before it officially becomes a Xianxia drama?
Oh, a lot. Well, the answer's a lot.
Yeah.
Might be limitless.
Yeah.
If you're
Another
signing
classic
up,
trope is the female lead or the male lead falls down the well and becomes mortal for a lifetime, and then
oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
The
the
mortal
mortal trial. Yeah.
yeah.
mortal
Yes.
trial is pretty common.
Now, the last one is one that I don't think as many people know, but that is Xuan Huan. And this directly translates into mysterious fantasy, which means it's fantasy influenced by Chinese mythology, but less tied to traditional Taoist cultivation rules. And it may have some West influences. Not a lot, but it may have some West influences. This can include Western fantasy elements, monsters, game-like systems, and a looser world building. So,
Looser.
there's, looser world building. And dramas for this include Fight Break Sphere, which I haven't watched it. I want to watch it at some point. And Dulu Continent is what comes to mind straight away to me when somebody asks what a Xuan Huan drama is Dulu Continent, which I was very sad, very, very sad, because so Dulu Continent, they did season 1, and I really liked season 1, and they kind of ended it a little bit on a cliffhanger, and then they did season 2, and I was like, oh, okay, and they changed the whole cast, and I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Oh, no.
Thank you. So, because Dulu Continent season 1 is from 2021, and it stars Xiao Zhan. That was and then season 2 is from 2024, and it's called The Land of Warriors, and it stars Zhou Yiran, the male lead from 12 Letters, and, you know, Zhang Yixi. They've literally changed the whole cast. And I was like, I don't want to, like, watch that. If you're going to give me a second season.
I tend to not gravitate towards Xuanhuan. I looked up an MDL list of Xuanhuan titles because I was like, what else is there? It's got on here The Blue Whisper.
Yes.
It's got on here The Longest Promise.
Oh, yeah, I dropped that one.
And then I was shocked. Butterfly Lover is on here, which is, I just watched that a few weeks ago. That's the one.
I don't know if that would be considered that.
Yeah, see,
which
I
was like,
think it would.
What? And then the other one that I was like, oh, I got to bring this up was Ice Fantasy. Do you guys remember Ice Fantasy?
I remember.
I haven't watched it.
Oh my God. I dropped that one.
Yeah. I also dropped that one.
See, that's why I'm like, I don't think I'm a Xuanhuan person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
another classic one that I think people go into this category, I don't know if I agree with this, but it's Evernight.
Evernight. I want to watch that one still.
Evernight.
But now that you say it's a Xuanhuan, I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, I know people have put it in that category.
Okay,
I don't know if I necessarily
sure.
agree with it.
Gotcha.
But I also have not watched the full drama, so I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that is Xuanhuan. I don't watch too much from this category personally. The last two that I really wanted to watch from this category were with people that I don't like watching, so I didn't watch them.
Okay.
So then we come to one of the last ones. It's your Republican era dramas. This one's very self-explanatory. Like
we covered a lot of it in the intro when we were just hitting the main categories.
The main points.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cheap house, jazz clubs, espionage, wartime tension, dangerous flirting. It's set between 1910 and 1940s.
A man in uniform.
Yeah, men in uniform.
Yep.
Overdue.
Hello suits.
Zangling her in overdue. There is a distinction between serious Republican era dramas and not serious.
We got to talk about it because my only Republican drama was a joke. It was Maid's Revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a true Republican drama.
No. So I think a serious one would be Winter Begonia, which you know is an older. I don't think it's that old. I'm trying to bring it up.
It's like, I want to say it was 2020, but it could have been earlier than that.
2020. No, you're right on 2020. And this one is very much a much more serious Republican drama. It stars veteran actors, so Huang Xiaoming, Yin Xing, Charmaine Se, so a lot more serious, you know, dramas. Versus, like you said, a Maid's Revenge or an upcoming Overdue, which
that's like eating like Twizzlers, guzzling down Twizzlers. It's just not good at the end of the day.
What's the famous one you always say? It's like
what I say.
You always compare.
This is not my joke. This is not my joke though.
No, but you always say it.
I think it's from John Mulaney says this joke at some point where he talks about lobster and Skittles.
Exactly.
Like these things are not equal.
Exactly.
But Maid's Revenge is the Skittles on this.
In this scenario. So yeah, Winter Begonia. Arsenal Military Academy is another one. That one is an idol. Republican era drama. Because it is a Shukai and Bailu drama, and there is a heavier focus on the romance. So it is an idol one. And then I also have down the Disguiser.
It's a very classic, well-known, very good, serious Republican era.
Republican era dramas seem to be diving a little bit more, into Idol in the next couple of months, I would say, because obviously we have, like I said, I've already mentioned, we have Overdue with Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan coming up, and that is basically like a crazy mini.
First of all, it's an
drama.
Idol Republican drama.
Yes, it's an Idol Republican drama where the male lead and the female lead meet, and then they kind of get separated. He thinks she dies, and then she actually comes back as his sister-in-law.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
So it's very much what people have said, it's a short mini C-drama, but in full length and with a lot more budget.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So yeah,
apparently it's very angsty. You can also find there's a lot of angst usually when it comes to Republican era because
true.
like historically the Republican era was very, very, very tumultuous, violent. It was warlords going after other warlords. Like it was not a fun time in China. Apparently, I'm not like well versed in that history, but apparently it was not a fun time. I mean, again, also like due to the fact that like these are a bunch of spies because they were mostly the Communist Party going up against like spying on another political faction, and then thus the Communist Party comes into power eventually. So you have like an upcoming one that's probably going to be more on the serious side with Xiao Zhan called Spying, where he is legitly a spy.
Yeah.
But on the like one that's
I'm
not
laughing
so
at like the
serious.
simple title of like spying.
But one that's like not so serious that is I would consider a Republican era because it takes place in the time, but it's a crime drama, and that is My Roommate is a Detective. Like if that is a more like that is a comedy set in this time. And it's a bromance for sure, but it's not anything to do with spies. It's a crime drama. Like it's a rich guy that hangs around the police station and they go and solve crimes because he's super smart.
It reminds me of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of for that one.
Yeah.
Right. Last one. This is the very last one, and I think it deserves its own little category. It's the mini dramas, vertical dramas.
This is new though. This is
very new. This is
fresh.
Very new, but it's been blowing up. I mean, it's been taking over the internet, and I think the West is now starting to catch up with this. They're starting to pop up in the West. But there is a huge market for these, and there is a difference between mini
because we're on it's the damn phones, okay? Because we're all on our phones, we're scrolling, we're swiping. Yeah.
So, these tend to be characterized by ultra short episodes, melodrama chaos, revenge marriages, insane pacing, and cliffhanger every 90 seconds. So, you know,
lots of slapping.
Lots of slapping.
There's lots of slapping, a lot of cheating.
Yeah.
A lot of secrets being revealed. Makjang.
Yeah, Makjang.
100 galore.
So I put down, just for examples, A Familiar Stranger and The Killer is Also Romantic. This is mini dramas, so not vertical ones, and these are actually really good. Because these are by the same director that did Pursuit of Jade. So
I watched Butterfly Lover. That's also a mini
good.
drama.
Yes, very good. So there is good to find within these, but they are often not considered the pinnacle.
Where does
of
Affinity
acting.
fall in here?
Oh, that's a mini.
Is that a mini drama?
Yeah, that's a mini.
They're a mini drama for sure.
Because it's like
another mini drama that I liked was An Ancient Love Story.
Ancient Love Story.
I think I've watched that one.
That's about the time traveling dude.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, bet I'm gonna watch that.
It was a professor who accidentally goes back in time, and then he meets the female lead, and then it has a. I'm not going to reveal it because there's a big twist in it, but I thought it was very well done in terms of the pacing and the story.
So yeah, these are what seem to be pushing forward. Also, mini dramas and vertical dramas don't tend to be censored that much. That is
Yeah.
why
Because it's
you
the
have...
wild, wild west on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the wild, wild west. And that is
Yeah.
why you have very hot, steamy scenes and all of these crazy things happening that you would never really see in a
Yeah.
full-length drama. So that's one of the big differences. It's also one of those where you can get a full story in an hour and a half, and people like that.
Mhm.
I haven't
Yeah.
really dived into vertical dramas.
They're crack.
They've almost
They're
gotten
crack.
me.
They always
On
got me.
multiple occasions. One will
The
pop
other
up on my
thing
TikTok and I'm like,
is-
oh,
Yeah.
this,
The
right?
other
They
thing
just dropped me
is,
in the middle of this.
Yeah.
right. The other thing is a lot of the actors in them either are like brand new, you don't know them, but they have like serious fandoms in the vertical C-drama land. Or they're actors that you might recognize from long form, but they never quite found that success where they like either are very much a supporting actor through and through and have been in a lot of supporting roles, but then they're getting huge fandoms and lead roles in these vertical C-dramas, or they're actors who have been acting for a really long time in the long form and just have never like
This
either
is their-
were lead
they
actors
put 'em out to
back in the
pasture.
day, yeah,
Mhm.
like back in the day type situation, are just not getting work anymore, so they've transitioned into vertical dramas.
Yeah.
They're
and
very
have
cheap
found
to
work
make.
again that way.
The bar
Very
is
cheap.
very low. Don't
Very
need to
cheap.
pass censorship.
Very
and,
fast to
yeah.
make
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Very
they can
fast.
make one in
Also,
like 4
a lot
days.
of the popular couples are actually married. Like they've
My
done
God.
so many short like vertical C-dramas that they like are now dating and married.
I can't believe
Like many
that.
couples are
The shippers
like
out there would
real
just
to
freak out.
real.
Yeah.
real to
Yeah.
real stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. That's the genres episode.
I feel complete. I feel
Yes.
educated, and I have a list of recs a mile long, and
Yeah.
hopefully everybody feels the same. That there is light at the
Yeah.
end of the tunnel. You've got some genres that you maybe never heard of or never understood what made up this genre, and now you can go forth and prosper
with more knowledge. Thank you guys for joining me. It's always a blast to have you over. Where can people find you?
You can find me
you can
online.
find me.
Oh God,
Go ahead,
let's
go
start
ahead,
that over.
Jess.
Let's start it over.
ahead,
Go,
Jess.
Caitlin. Go, Caitlin.
You can find me wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm also on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram under No Sleep, the number 4 dramas. I have a blog as well, so you'll find me somewhere on Google.
Oh, Google.
On the Google. Okay, so you can find Daebak K-Rambles wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Now it's on YouTube, so you can look up the YouTube channel. I think the handle is Daebak K-Rambles, and that is a great repository of all the episodes. And then you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at DaebakPod, DAEBAKPOD.
Yeah, so I will make sure to link all of those in the episode notes. Thank you guys for joining us this week. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju podcast, and we shall catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.